Alright guys, last knife for the day. Another Ozark tradition, David Williamson. This one is an S110V at 63 HRC. This knife's a little bit different than the other two, being that it's thicker. So behind the edge it's actually quite a bit thinner, which should make it easier as far as the rope goes. It's 0.009 behind the edge, extremely thin. Thinnest knife I've had. I had another one that was also 0.009, the Mannix 2 in M4 that was reground to 0.009. This one also has 9% vanadium, similar to the K390. However, this one's stainless steel, obviously being S110V. And after the first few cuts, just like you would think with S110V, nothing. The blade, however, the blade stock is 0.155, so quite a bit thicker compared to the last two, which might show up in the cardboard testing, but yeah, we'll see. And again, David makes just beautiful knives. The attention to detail is ridiculous. It's clear he goes over everything with a fine-tooth comb. The fit and finishes, it's perfect. Yeah, he's extremely talented. And the fact that he's willing to work on a blade like this, S110V at 63, I mean, for most guys that's a nightmare. But he obviously likes what he does. And I'm glad for knife makers like him. Alright, let's do another quick one here. Yep, good to go. And I know a lot of guys are probably going to be like, oh, why are you only doing 10 feet with 10 feet of sisal rope with a S110V? You need to be doing a lot more rope than that. Yeah, that's great, but I'm not going to put a 45-minute, hour-long video of me cutting rope on YouTube. I don't have the time, and it's just no one's going to watch that either. No one wants to watch an hour of someone cutting rope. Probably a lot of you guys aren't going to watch me cut rope for 10 minutes. God, this thing cuts like nothing. I'm barely putting pressure on this. Being ground so thin, and you know, yeah, this one's down to 0.5 microns as well, just the same as the others. 15 degrees per side, or 30 degrees inclusive. Thing just blazes through that. Whole edge, nothing. Maybe the cleanest one so far, but hard to say. In K390 you got all that vanadium. It's a little ridiculous. Alright, we got a little over a foot left. Same thing we did with the K390. See if it shaves. I can hear it shaving. Yeah, probably about the same as K390, maybe a little bit less. And maybe that's where that 1 point of hardness comes in when we're talking about 63 and 64. Maybe. Maybe I made a couple extra cuts. Who knows? Still cuts like crazy though. You know, I never thought S110 was going to be as aggressive as the K390. I thought maybe the carbon carbon steels would be a little more aggressive, but maybe I answer my own question from video number 2, because this thing's cutting extremely easily and extremely aggressive. Alright. Last one after the rope, and we'll get to the cardboard. Totally clean. And throw my glove on here, Michael Jackson glove. I don't know where it went. There we go. And let's get to this cardboard. Well, I don't think that thick spine hurt that too much. If anything, if you guys think I'm slowing down, it's because this is my 3rd knife in a row. Not because of the steel. This thing is blazing through this like it's nothing. Alright. Edge is warm, flying through like butter. Yeah, these high vanadium steels, I knew they were going to be ridiculous, but I'd never really tested them. I tested S110V, which also has 9% vanadium. However, it was never nearly as hard. Obviously, you can only take S90V to about 61. And actually, I'm saying S90V, I'm actually talking about 20 CP. That was a Spyderco sprint run on the paramilitary. And it was probably around 60. I mean, I didn't have it tested, but it definitely wasn't as hard as these steels have been. And these things are kind of blowing my mind today. Of course, I've heard Ankerson talk about him. He's done the, that's Jim Ankerson. I've heard him do his reviews on his Phil Wilson knives. And, you know, it's one thing to read it. It's a completely different thing to actually experience it. Alrighty. Last little bit here. I don't want to say it cuts like it did just at the beginning, because it probably doesn't, but it sure feels like it. See if it'll push cut. Yeah, it's push cutting phone book paper after 10 feet of rope and 2 pretty thick pieces of cardboard. Didn't want to push cut at that part of the blade, maybe. There we go. Yep. Let's do some hair, see if we get some hair. I don't think so, maybe a little bit. Yeah, there's a few. It's not cutting like the K390 did, but there's still some hairs on there. Pretty crazy. Anyways, guys, you know, I didn't test any crappy steels today, so it's hard to get an idea for what they would look like, but yeah, these high vanadium steels are ridiculous. Thanks again to David over at Ozark Tradition. His knives are beautiful. Absolutely awesome. Awesome customer service. Alright guys, thanks again.